What's up, y'all? It's your girl Cornelia back for another episode of Black News, a podcast where we break down current events, hot topics, and local stories involving Black people. Now let's get into it. It's safe to say that I think Michael B. Jordan is sick of y'all. And by y'all, I'm not talking about the Black News listeners. Okay, I'm talking about whoever he got a problem with. Anybody, if you ever said something crazy about Michael B. Jordan back in the day, he heard you and he gonna run up on you. Not disrespectfully. Now, okay, he gonna be respectful, but you gonna get ran up on. Okay, you gonna get ran down on. In case y'all missed it, Michael B. Jordan, who we've talked about, I feel like for the last couple of weeks. Rightfully so, because the brother's fine. Did y'all see his Calvin Klein shoot that just came out today? And by today, I mean the day that I'm recording this podcast. The brother is down in his skimpies, okay? He is down in his drawers. And the body is bodying. I mean, the body is fine. And y'all know Calvin Klein is going to get the most attractive people, Black men, to pose for their campaign. The most recent that had... I was drooling. Yahya Abdul-Mateen II. I'm talking about, listen, when Yahya Abdul-Mateen II had them pictures dropping, y'all. Now, next is Michael B. Jordan, whose pictures dropped simultaneously during his Creed 3 promo run. But the point of this topic on Black News Podcast is during one of the Creed 3 red carpet interviews, Michael B. Jordan bumped into a former classmate of his named L'Oreal. Y'all may know L'Oreal. She is an influencer. She now works and does radio for The Morning Hustle. I'm not sure which network that's on, if it's Sirius, if it's Heartbeat, whatever. But y'all probably are familiar with her because she's been around for a long time. They went to school together in Newark. Her and Michael B. Jordan. And he saw her on the red carpet. She was next in line for the interview. She rolled up and said something to the effect of, yeah, we used to go to the same school back in Newark. And you immediately saw on his face the minute that he looked at her that he was about to say something. He then chimed in and says, yeah, you called me corny. Ooh. Uh-oh. Apparently, they would clown him for bringing his headshot to school back in when he was going to classes in Newark. High school, middle school, sound like high school. Now, let me add, as an actor, now it's a little different because casting has everything online and it's digital and a computer in front of them. You still got to keep that thing on you. By that thing, I mean that headshot, just in case you bump into some old school casting directors who want that copy. But back in the day, you had to have your headshot with you. If you get called into an audition, whether you knew about it the night before, 2 nights before, or it's a last minute, and back then, you used to could crash auditions on low key. Y'all don't know about them crashing auditions where it was just a paper sign-in sheet. The casting will cross-check that with their paper sign-in sheet about who they reached out to and who was scheduled to come. But you used to could just show up, sign your name to the check-in sheet to get called in. They wouldn't have time to check. They would call you and you can audition and book a role that you wasn't even supposed to be in there for. So you had to keep that thing on you, thing being headshot. So hearing that, it's not abnormal for Michael B. Jordan to be in high school, have been on The Wire, been in commercials, been on All My Children, and to be at school with his headshot. You had to. Now, was he walking around holding it? Who knows? I went to high school with a dude middle school at that point, with a boy who would have business cards. Kids gonna be who they're gonna be. So apparently they were clowning him in school and calling him corny. And it sounded like along the way he's always had his group of friends. So while it wasn't like he was the lonely kid, but still, kids gonna be kids, and apparently they was talking shit. Now, apparently it sounds like L'Oreal, has been dropping his name as a former classmate for quite some time, saying that, we went to high school together. Yeah, we went to high school together, telling the story about carrying the headshot. But it was finally time for them to meet, and your boy was ready. Okay. Now, he wasn't disrespectful. You can tell by the look on his face and his body language. He was giving her that side angle body. He wasn't standing straight on facing her. And then at one point, you can see him trying to deviate out the conversation, not giving her his full undivided attention, because when Jonathan Majors was next to him, he was trying to divert the conversation towards Jonathan. L'Oreal then asked Jonathan a question about who's the sexiest man alive between the two. And at that moment, I could tell that Jonathan overheard the front end of the conversation, because he said to L'Oreal, "What kind of question is that?" He already came in hot. He talking about my boy giving you the shady stance. I'm a ride with my boy. That's what I got. Now, people were, and when I say people, I mean the social medias. They were applauding Michael B. Jordan, saying that, what goes around comes around. People tired of listening to y'all talk crazy on the internet about them, X, Y, and Z. Some people were also saying that he need to grow up and heal. Why is he carrying something? He almost 40 years old. And he's still carrying this type of baggage. He needs to address it and move forward. Now, I would say this. I'm on the side of, people forget that celebrities and influencers are actual people. People think they can also hide behind the internet. We have gotten used to people thinking they ain't about to get ran up on because I'm behind the keyboard. Ain't no way I'm gonna bump into this person. I'm doing X, Y, and Z, and I'm in Kansas tweeting and posting. Now, that may be true for them, but never doubt or never minimize the idea of you gonna have to pay for what you say to people. Now, that don't mean somebody gonna put their hands on you, but you're not about to be talking crazy no more. And we see that in this case. I don't mind the way he handled it. I always have said, I know if I say something about somebody, especially being in this business and having done red carpet interviews in the past and being in the business where I'm going to be in spaces with other people, if I talk shit about somebody, they probably gonna hear it. So you just got to be prepared and you got to be ready for it. It's just easier for you to know who you've been talking shit about, so that when it does come your time, you can apologize and hopefully they forgive you. And if not, you can still move forward. But again, it's real easy for people to forget that celebrities are accessible and actual real people with feelings. That man just out here living his life, and he got to hear this. He's probably annoyed, pleased, happy he saw her all in one. And by happy, I mean because he finally got a chance to tell her about herself, which he didn't really go crazy on. I think it was a respectful conversation. Now, adding, L'Oreal's co-host came out the next day or that night and said that she was actually the one that called him corny. And they dropped the audio for it. She posted the audio when it was her saying, yeah, he seemed like a corny, nice guy. And then L'Oreal was like, yeah, we went to the same high school and he used to carry his headshot. So the co-host said the corny comment. L'Oreal chimed in with the additional tack on feedback, which could be why when he asked L'Oreal, she was like, I didn't say that, because she technically didn't, but she could have handled it differently. But the homegirl, the co-host, said she still stand by it. And she also mentioned her reasoning. She said, because any black man who dates white women is corny. So she said what she said. I will add, people can be corny back in the day, but the glow up be real. Okay? The glow up be real. And this continued to start the conversation and debate about why girls and guys back in the day want a certain type of a person to date, and y'all should give the corny guy a chance because he gonna blow up to be Michael B. Jordan. That ain't always the case. That is not always the case. I know a couple people who did not grow up to be Michael B. Jordan, okay? They did not grow up to be Michael B. Jordan. But hey, I'm just gonna leave it there. With that said, Creed 3 is out March 3rd, and that movie look good as hell. I've been already reading some reviews, some no spoiler reviews, and they saying it's gooder than a mug. So I'm going to be in the building, and I am going to talk about it next week without spoilers and give my thoughts and feedback. Shout out to Tessa Thompson and Jonathan Majors, who are also in it, two actors that I love. So Let me know what y'all thoughts are overall over the whole situation. Did y'all see the video of Michael B. Jordan running up on old girl? Hit me up at Cornelia with your thoughts. And with that last topic in mind, Michael B. Jordan, this idea of corny guys or people that are deemed corny and grow up to be uber successful, uber attractive. I would want to real quick talk about a narrative that I keep seeing and we've heard for, I feel like pretty much our entire lives, but just not, it just does not seem true to me based on having actual common sense and eyes. Okay, let me say. So we always hear this concept that good girls always want bad guys, right? Girls, we want bad boys. They want thugs and drug dealers and rappers and all of those things. And that nice guys finish last. Good girls don't want nice guys. Bad girls don't want nice guys. Nobody wants nice guys. Everybody wants the bad guy, which is, I see how people got to that point, but honestly, from my experience, it really ain't true. Meaning, I know a lot of women. I know a lot. Okay. I have a lot of friends and associates. I'm in the entertainment industry. I went to school, high school, college, been in organizations, clubs with lots of women. I know different types of women. You know who like bad boys? Bad girls. And I'm not using the word bad girl as a negative. I mean, the bad bitches, the girls who were always like the most popular, the pretty girls, the ones who were always adjacent to boys and young men who were considered, air quote, bad. It was usually the athletes, the ones from around the way, the dudes with a car. Like, it were those types. Bad girls liked bad boys. I got a lot of homegirls that were not considered bad. They were wonderful, cute girls, but maybe more smart, or them Jack and Jill girls. The ones who were not adjacent to like hood dudes or lived in the hood or grew up in those type of neighborhoods, didn't have that kind of exposure. They did not want them. This idea that all girls wanted them, y'all, you know who they wanted? Them dentists. They wanted them doctors. They wanted them judges' kids. They wanted the boy or the young man who was going to be successful and uber rich. None of my friends who did not grow up hood or hood adjacent or grow up in areas or in surroundings that would put them next to quote unquote bad guys. They did not like them dudes. They didn't even like them. I think the problem is a lot of times when people feel rejected, not because they were actually rejected, they go to the most extreme and find a way to justify their feelings, even if it's not actually true. Because a lot of the quote nice guys who feel like they finished last, they had no business wanting or thinking they should have had access to what people would consider the bad girls or the cool girls or the popular girls. You know who they should have been dating? And who wanted them? The nice girls. But you know what they said about the nice girls? She too nice, don't nobody want her. So you don't want the girls in your class or your demo, but the girls that ain't in your demo you should have. It don't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Let's stop this narrative as adults talking about how nice guys finish last and girls didn't want nice guys. Yes, they did. You just weren't paying attention to you because you thought you were supposed to be with the cheerleader. You thought you were supposed to be the cheerleader instead of the girl who liked playing video games just like you. I just had to get that off my chest because I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the narrative. I'm sick of those little goofy memes that be going around showing the good girls wanting bad boys. And then the second meme at the bottom be her as a grown woman pregnant, being a baby mama and talking about ain't no good man. Where the good? That is not how it went. That is not how it went. Let me know your thoughts on it though. I just had to get it off my chest. Hit me up at Cornelia on social media. Next, huge congratulations to all of the NAACP award winners from this past weekend. And also shout out to the SAG award winners. That was on Sunday. NAACP was on Saturday. Wasn't as many black people that won the SAG awards. I know who I cast my vote for, okay? I know who I voted for, and a lot of them didn't win. But congratulations to them as well. But on the NAACP awards, we had, I didn't get to watch the telecast. I just watched clips online. And the blackness was blacknessing. Okay, I love the NAACP awards. Low key, when people talk about they want all of these and Emmys and Oscars, the two awards that I want an Emmy and I want an NAACP award. Something about that, the idea of blackness being celebrated, y'all know I'm all about it. I want one. Okay, I want one. And I will get it. But congratulations to, Quinta Brunson, the cast of Abbott Elementary, Angela Bassett, Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade made an impassioned speech. I think it was the President's Award for their activism, especially as it pertains to their daughter, Zaya. They had a really great speech. Ben Crump was honored. He gave a speech. It seemed like just a good night. Shout out to my dog, Kev on stage, who won Social Media Personality of the Year. That boy got him an NAACP award. It just seemed like an all-around good night, especially since it looks like with all these shutouts and how the Woman King has been completely shut out from award season to the point where Gina Prince Bythewood wrote an op-ed about around the idea of when you send out ballots and materials to watch and view during award season, it's called For Your Consideration. That's how they title it. But her point was, why aren't your black peers art and content for your consideration? Why aren't you watching our content? And I can tell you firsthand, I know a few people who are not black, who in past years were given materials to vote on, particularly for the SAG Awards. And when it came time to vote, they let me know who they voted for. And when I charged them up and asked them why they didn't vote for the black artist who had a way better performance and it was more stellar and groundbreaking, they said, I didn't want to watch that. I didn't want to feel bad or I didn't want it to make me feel funny. They not watching this, but they not watching these movies. And it ain't required to watch before you vote. In any of the award shows, it's not required. The same way we say we rooting for everybody black, they not. So honestly, I don't think we'll ever get around that. There's no way to mandate that. So it is just going to be what it is. We're going to keep pumping out good work and we're going to keep watching the NAACP awards. Okay. Shout out to everybody that won. And yeah, it was a great night. Let me know if you checked it out and what were your favorite moments from the show. Speaking of congratulations, congrats to the Brat and her partner Judy. They are expecting a child. It looks like this year, 2023, because it's only February. And it looked like the Brat about due in a few months. Congrats to them, man. That's really exciting, especially considering that they've been really vocal about their fertility journey over the past few years. It's not easy for women to carry children. It is easier for some, but women deal with all kinds of issues. There's fibroids and there's infertility, and sometimes the pregnancy you miscarry. Sometimes you can't actually carry the child. We saw that with Gabrielle Union, how she said she had about maybe 9 miscarriages. Her body just couldn't carry or handle holding a baby. So it's been hard for the Brat and Judy, but they finally made it happen, and the Brat is carrying that baby, y'all. Congrats to them. Now, people online seem shocked. One, it seemed like they just weren't versed on the fact that they've been trying to have a baby. They've been vocal about this, that one of them gonna carry that baby. They've been saying this. But people was acting like the Brat couldn't get pregnant because she a lesbian. Y'all, Baggy clothes don't mean you can't get pregnant. Like, what, y'all, wearing jerseys don't mean you can't have a baby. Like, y'all know you can be gay and have a child, right? I be really thinking people be delusional, and some of them just ain't got it all. Okay, it's a couple cups missing from the cabinet. But for me, I'd be more shocked when women over 40 are having babies and carrying them to full term. As a woman who does not have children, but who wants children, but understands that time is running out and that may not be in the cards for me, I'm always extremely fascinated by women being pregnant, because I want to know how, what it took, was it natural, was it in vitro, how many rounds, how much did it cost, did you miscarry at any point, if it didn't catch, or if it didn't go through, then what? Were you going to adopt? I want to know all that. It's like people like that, like Tamron Hall was pregnant in her 40s. Girl, I want to know all of it, okay? Tell me all the business, because it's just fascinating, and it's inspiring for older women to see that, because you really be like, oh shoot, okay, people still out here having kids. So I'm excited for them. I'm excited to hear more information about how they got here and the story about the journey. But while we wait for that, again, congrats to the brat and her partner Judy for the upcoming birth of their first child together. Hit me up on social media. Let me know if you saw it, and if you are too excited about the brat and her new baby. And also, let me add too, Don't act like the brat wasn't in the What You Like video with Tyrese with a bathing suit on, and back then people was thirsting over the brat. Don't act like she wasn't out here with the bikini top on. The brat was up there with the bikini top talking about what you like, a whole lot of. Y'all was singing along, looking at the brat and her bikini bathing suit top. So cut the surprise in the shot, okay? Anywho, hit me up on social media with your thoughts. This next topic is one that I forgot to talk about last week. So it's a week old, but it's a discussion. It's a point of discussion and a talker for sure. Apparently, Karl Malone has a past that he don't want nobody to talk about. Karl Malone, the NBA veteran, Utah Jazz Karl Malone, while he was a student and around 20 years old in Louisiana, I believe Louisiana Tech, he got a 13-year-old girl pregnant, and she had a child. He, at the time, according to reports, referred to the girl as his girlfriend, but he denied supporting that baby and getting to know the child, didn't even want to pay child support. Now, he was at All-Star Weekend a couple weeks ago. It was in Utah. So listen, you got to bring out the old Utah heads. I ain't see John Stockton nowhere, but Karl Malone was in the building. He don't be nowhere. And as soon as he popped up, people were like, why does he get to be involved? Don't he got the shady past? He had sex with a child and had a baby with her and denied the baby. So the internet caught on to it and started talking. I did not know about this. I don't know even if I ever even heard people talking about it. I ain't know about this. And it sounds like a part of it is because Karl refuses to discuss it and he don't leave the house. But he said they tried to ask him about it during the All-Star Weekend festivities, and he said, this is per Karl, I'm not discussing any of that. I don't care. That's my life. It's my personal life, and I'll deal with it like I've dealt with everything. So whatever. Y'all, that was his comment about him having sex with a child. Now, adding, the child ended up going to the NFL. And he got 2 other kids that he wasn't really kicking it with, that he had back in the day with a different woman. And he ignored them for a while too. The daughter was twins. She went to the WNBA. So one thing Karl Malone kids gonna do is go to the league. And it sounds like one thing Karl Malone gonna do is not pay attention to them children. He does have a wife and he has children with them, and it seems like he's present and active in those situations. But child, they done dug up the dessert on Karl Malone. And I'm going to say that all of this is allegedly. I'm using the word allegedly because I'm just reporting what I heard. As he allegedly had sex with a 13-year-old and allegedly got her pregnant. Let me be clear with that. Don't come over here with that. But the next question is, now what? If someone doesn't go out into the public, they're never in the space to be asked about it, questioned, or pressured. If someone's children, and it seems like at least the son, they have repaired their relationship. So I think they're in each other's lives. So if the family isn't charging up Karl Malone and holding him accountable in a way that the public would like, and if the NBA isn't doing anything, I don't know what happens now. What happens now? Does he get banished from the NBA? Does he not get banished from the NBA? Because then that's going to open up the conversation. Y'all know every time something happens and somebody get accused of something, people say, what about so-and-so? He shouldn't get punished because he didn't either. So then we have to deal with that. I personally don't have a suggestion about what happens next. I'm just shocked that I didn't hear about this and that it happened, or allegedly happened, and I'm bringing it to the Black News listeners to discuss. What did y'all think when y'all heard it? Or is this your first time hearing that? If so, or if not, hit me up on social media with your thoughts and let's discuss. To recap this week's episode, we talked about Michael B. Jordan on the Creed 3 red carpet and bumping into somebody he went to high school with that apparently was out here talking you know what about your boy. We also discussed the idea of all girls wanting to date bad guys and how I think that is absolutely rubbish and not true. We gave a quick shout out to all of the NAACP award winners for this past year and just talked about the overall Black excellence of the event and other events this weekend. We congratulated the Brat and her partner Judy on being pregnant with their first child. And we also discussed Karl Malone and some things from his past being revealed after he popped his head up during NBA All-Star Weekend in Utah. Hit me up and let me know what you thought about all of these topics, some or none. And with that, I'll check back with you guys next week. That's it for this week's episode of Black News, y'all. Thanks again. Thank you. And thank you again so much for sticking with us, supporting the podcast, liking and subscribing on all apps where podcasts can be heard, rating 5 stars and leaving a comment. It helps more than you know. So I really, really appreciate it. And keep sharing Black News with all of your friends and family. Be sure to hit me up on social media if you got ideas for topics. Or just hit me up in general to let me know you've been listening. Let me know your thoughts. I'm at Cornelia on all platforms across the board. That's at Cornelia, like Kenny and Ophelia. Also check my website. I got some shows coming up in Los Angeles County. Hopefully get on the road soon. But for now, if you're in the LA area, hit me up. Check Cornelia.com for show dates and details. And as always, thanks again so much, guys. I hope you have a fantastic week. Keep supporting, keep growing, keep building, keep staying safe, and keep staying healthy. As always, again, I'll see you back here next time, same place. Bye.